All right, 9 o'clock hour. Ready for our first cube draw of this new turn. All orders have been given, and we're set to go. A new set of orders. And French reinforcements coming on. I think the Russians had a little window of opportunity, maybe during the first turn, but they were all on hold and defense. Maybe they should have been put on attack. We'll see. Here you go. All kinds of cubes in here. I think it is a... Ooh, how many cubes to what? 15 to 8 cubes difference. Alright, I got my first cube. Who's it going to be? Is it going to stay with the law of averages? It'd be French. Should the Russians pull one out of the hat? Or is it a... what do you call it? A anomaly and a red cube. Alright, laws of averages come through. It fits right into the French plan. We'll be right back. Alright, well, in our first scenario, our learning scenario, we had reinforcements that almost didn't even enter the game. And it really wasn't because of, not the fact that we didn't want to use them. It's just that the fighting was a ways away, and the scenario called for, well, the way the scenario developed, the reinforcements really didn't factor in. We're going to do it differently this time, though. And head on over down here to the southern part of the map, and I think we will give it to, we want to give it to the 2nd Division, 3rd Corps. 3rd Corps coming on up. And old, I think it's Devout. Coming up from his retreat from the Russians earlier. I thought Ney was with him. Oh, I guess not. But anyway, all right, the cube will go to 2nd Division, 3rd Corps. There you go. They're on strategic move mode, though. All right, well, they will get the 1st courier. And there's definitely a plan for 2nd Division, 3rd Corps now, keeping in mind they're in strategic move, which means, sorry about that, 5 hexes from this unit. We'll show you where to come in at. Alright, we are under strategic move. Let's try that one more time. Strategic move restrictions. And this line of hexes right here are 5 hexes away from this unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a hex limit. We have to be beyond that. So, I mean, extra movement points are in strategic move. But, yeah, I think we're just going to have to get to a staging area far away, which is kind of a bite in the ass, but because the action is all around here, but we can't get in there. When you come on the map, you have to come on a strategic move. It is what it is. So I think we might be coming in above the 1 line and heading here. Now we can really get going this way, but we cannot go this way, so we gotta stay out. I need to find me another line out from this hex here. Alright, from that unit there, can't get no closer than where that pencil, so beyond that pencil, beyond that pen for him, and the nearest hex we can get in those woods. Oh, the beach won't go in that far yet. Well, is right there. That hex right where that little pointer, as you can see, it's mostly a wooded hex. Alright, battery power low, of course. It's been a long day. Ready for the weekend. So there you go. When we come back, I will have moved the 2nd Division, 3rd Corps, and I might move the Corps leader with them. We'll see what's going on. We'll be right back. 2nd Division, 3rd Corps have completed their movement, and there is a cavalry element that we swung out a little bit wide. They had to come in above this wood line, and we have some making the old cut through, but that's about it. They really can't move no more until the next hour, unless they want to, somehow keep their distance and go this way, although there is some nice victory point hexes right in front of them, so we'll see what happens with them, but we wanted to get them on the board and in their staging area. Alright, ready for our next cube draw. And also, let me see if I got my pointer with me. You got the old left wing cavalry reserve, ain't looking too bad over there. Alright, then you have artillery reserve here, which is commanded by the Bennington himself. And Bachevu's got a pretty good division that stretches all the way out. His men, I think, stretch all the way out here. Is this Bachevu or is this right wing cat? Alright, that's a reserve, I think. Yeah, no, that's Bachevu. Yeah, Bachevu's got a little bit of cavalry out here on his wings, which is a good deployment by him. He's got a nice little division. Well, he's got his hands full, though. There you go. So we'll see what happens with old Bachevu. Russians got something to think about. Coming from the south. The second hour. Let's go on with the zoom out. Grab us our bag. See if the French can keep it up. The law of averages said they should, but you never know which anomaly will come into play, especially that fire cube anomaly. Again, French are in a spot. I don't think we got any artillery unlimbered or anything. We're basically still in move pattern. So let's see what's going on here. Big old full bag of cubes. Reach around. We got one. Alright, what do we got? Oh, Russians answer back. They only got 8 cubes in there, so now I only have 7. So look at the board. And what will Bennington, what will he do? Alright, the old Russian general Bennington wasted no time. It was almost instantaneous where he wanted that cube, so he must have been thinking about it for a while. And it will go to Tushkov in the 5th Division. And the 5th Division is in attack mode. And they will be the first Russian activation of the game, or of the hour. Alright, old Bennington. Not taking it laying down. Let's see what the 5th Division will do with their attack order. We'll be right back. Tushkov deploying his men as per Bennington's order. He's taken high ground and also captured the way too easy. Victory points, there you go. He has literally drove a wedge into the French forces. And had enough movement points to get these men down here. And some nice strong line infantry units with grenadiers on their flank. Got another unit that was able to unlimber its artillery, and I believe it is garrisoned with chasseurs. Right, then there's the extent of it. Tushkov. Got an artillery yet to be unlimbered. He has taken the high ground, so he kind of need another activation order. Needs another rider. And I believe he's in attack mode, so he can actually get adjacent if he wanted to. We have other units. This unit here is still limbered. Here, artillery is still coming on up, but it's the best they can do. And he has deployed his troops according to his discretion. There you go. We'll have one more cube draw, but we'll hold off on it. We'll see who will be the next one. We have, another thing we almost forgot. That'll be worth 5 victory point cubes, and here's how you do that. This is the best. This is the main event here. Yeah, French caught totally with their pants down, but a little bit of a threat. Fly with the card. So, but for right now, that was worth 5. So the French will have to take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and add them to the Russians. And there you go. That's how that game works. And as soon as these are down to 0, on whatever side, game over. The other guy wins. So that was a bad way to start off with the French. Wow. Yeah, seen it coming. Knew it was there. And I guess there's a plan for it. But oof. See what's up with that. Loving the twisted turns of this draw cube system. Alright, let me get the bag ready. Alright. Cube draw time. And what does Lady Luck or Mr. Fate have in store? We'll go right down to the middle of them. Dig down in. We have one. Law of averages are anomaly with the Russians, or the biggest anomaly, which will be the fire cube. Oh, Russians. That'll make 2 of the 8. So, to be honest with you, here's what the Russians want to do. They want to draw 8 straight cubes, or as many as they can, because as soon as they're done with their cubes, all those 15 Russian cubes get thrown back, and we have to go to another hour. So Russians are doing what they need to do. All right, so how do they take advantage of the situation? When we come back, like I said, it might not be tonight, but yep. What does Bennington have of his? Ooh, there he is. His sleeve. Where's Bennington? In an offensive mode, because given the cube or the orders, the courier, that's back to Tushkov. The 5th Division with their 2nd activation, but their infantry will be moving with a -1 movement point penalty. Also for the artillery. So then this unit here, starting off with 3 movement points, 1 movement point penalty because they're fatigued. So he will do a little change formation, giving him, I believe that's right. So he would start out with a 5, -1 for change of formation. That'd be a 4. So he has 4 movement points now. And with that, he will pivot, and with his 1 movement point left, will change in a line formation. Alright, move the other one. So I just wanted to give you a crux of how this is all going to work out. So their movement point will be definitely limited. And we'll see what Tushkov does with the 5th, 2nd activation. The community order will be this unit here, getting into column formation, still having 4 movement points left. And with 2, I wanted to see if we can get down this way. We didn't have the movement points because this will be 2, and it cost him 2 movement points to move next to the unit here. So actually, this is actually cost him 2. We were back here to, where's it when you need it? Number 1, because it cost the Russians 2 movement points to move adjacent. The extent of, we're calling him Tushkov, his deployment after his 2nd activation. Have unlimbered the artillery up on a hill. There's a little bit of added support in case the guard get froggy. He's been around line. Old Tushkov's up on the hill with an unlimbered artillery unit, light, and nice unit, and we might change that formation too. Yeah, I didn't know that. He can do that, so there you go. We're going to call it a night, but when we do come back, we have us an assault to go on. This unit here. And this unit here? We'll see. I think we can do it with both of them. But the biggest thing is, that artillery has got another artillery underneath it, and they're both limbered. So, alright. The Russians getting off on the right foot. We'll be back. Alright. Well, we'd be stranded in the man cave today. We're down here in the war room section, and oh, what a shame. Yeah, we have no transportation. Unfortunately, yesterday I had a shortened day at work because my work truck blew a head gasket, so I had to go on, which is fine. We have standby trucks and everything, all good. It'll just have to go in the shop. But then, on my way home to enjoy my little bit of an early day, my vehicle threw a well, it didn't really throw it. And as a matter of fact, I guess I could be lucky. I had a serpentine belt fray on me about a block or so from the house, so that wasn't too bad. But now, serpentine belts shouldn't be too bad. As a matter of fact, we have a little standby vehicle. My wife's vehicle went down one time, and we had to make an emergency vehicle purchase. Who can do that in a drop of a hat? But she was wanting to sell this vehicle, and I said keep it. That's what happens. You never know if we could have too many vehicles. I think at one time we had 5. Now we're down to 2 working vehicles. But yeah, so that's a repair I could usually do. But those newer vehicles, the engines are so cramped. So I gave it a good try. I was out there, soaking wet and sweat and everything out there trying to do it for about an hour, and I gave up because it's too tight of a space. As a matter of fact, I looked on YouTube, and there's a special tool because it's so cramped down there. It's a tool to let go of the tension bar or the tension pulley, and I'm this close to saving me a couple $100, but I give up. I couldn't do it. So let the men with the tools and everything else take care of it, I guess. But we gave it a try. But as a result of that, yeah, we're home today. Although the beautiful wife will be home. She works all the time, and she's always working. And yeah, she'll be home in a little bit. We'll have to do some breakfast. But till then, yeah, oh, what a shame. I can't. Not that I'd go anywhere anyway on my day off. So, as a matter of fact, gotta keep an eye outside for the pooch, because he might want to come in. He's a winter dog from the Burmese mountain dog. I don't know if that's from the Swiss Alps or what. Somewhere around there. But yeah, he's got that big coat on. That's why y'all see me with a heater on in the middle of summertime, or all bundled on up, because we got to keep this place cool for that poor dog. He's got a lot of hair. He loves it. Believe me, when it's 14 degrees outside, he can't even get the dog in. He's ready to sleep out there all day. So there you go. All right, a little insight into what's going on in GWG land. Let's get back with this first combat. We got a melee going on here. The old 3rd Division, 4th Corps, going over to take part in the Markov Division massacre. Well, they just jumped themselves and blindsided. I mean, it was, you could see it coming, I guess, but you also have to take a chance that wherever your opponent isn't going to get 3 cube draws in a row and come and hammer you. So, yeah, he closed the distance quick, captured himself some a victory point hex, or would that be Army fatigue point hex, I guess is what the proper name for it would be. Was able to set himself up in a little bit of a blocking position if they want to try to take that back, and the closest units will be the guard. And that all has, if I move the guard this way, he can come down with his units, all kinds of things. It's kind of like a cascading or sequence of events type deal. And I don't know if it realistically reflects how combat was, but it's part of this game, and we're having a good time with it. So let's zoom on in. We will check this out. We're going to go through procedures. I forgot what it was for assaults, but why not? We'll have both of these units attacking the limbered artillery. Yeah, old Salt, and I forgot who it is. I think it might be Laval. Yep. Getting attacked, getting assaulted. Way back. All right, an assault procedure. We have 12 strength points, and that'll be 1,200 men approximately charging this. And I don't know how many batteries that would be. I think there may be 3 or 4 guns per strength point, so maybe 12 guns being towed versus 1,200 men. You can see where this is going. All right, so it's a 3-to-1 attack. At the odds Dyro modifier, you can see under here 3-to-1 with under infantry assaulting is a -2. Now on this assault, unlike fire combat we're looking for a 7 or less, so it's a low number you're trying to get. So they're -2 to begin with. I guess we can go through this together. Defending unit is Russian. All right, yeah, that's what I have. So we have our old tallies. This can get quite long. All right, +1, so that makes it a -1. Ooh, let me see. Defending unit is in. Oh, now this is where this comes in. We didn't have this last time. They're not under hold. They're not under retire. They're not under regroup or strategic move. So I think we can dodge all those. Let me see real quick. I think he's under attack. And there's the 3rd Division of the 4th Corps. Yeah, 3rd Division, 4th Corps under attack order. So none of those would apply. That is our first incarnation of those 3 modifiers. So let's remember that. Now when we move those, it's something else to think about. All right, charge for more than 1 hex, yes. So we're back to -2. Nothing to do with the terrain. And you know what? As much as I marked these wrong, thinking it was all error, I think it's right. So charge through the rear is a little bit less of a moderate. We're going to, we'll have to reprint this and keep it the way it was. This is when I first started the game. And to me, yeah, I'll explain this now. I always figured get charged in the rear was worse, but we'll give it to the designers of the game. Maybe they know historically that, all you had to do is just flip around to where getting charged from the side is more of a bad modifier. So what was that? Charge to the flank is a -3. I think we're at -2, so now we're at -5. All right, let me see. I'll read these down while we're going on. Infantry in line. Assaulted, nope. Infantry in column, nope. In square formation, infantry in line. Artillery alone in the hex, so it's a -5. We're at -8. Okay. All right, -8 on this roll, so I think these guys are pretty much history. Let me stop right here, put down the camera, make sure I got all my numbers right. But we're looking at, I think, a -8, which will pretty much eliminate these boys. Now, once they go, oh, you know what? I was going to say any adjacent hex after they bail has to roll for a stand. But you're seeing what I'm seeing here. That won't apply. You're a genius. Yeah, just lucked out on that one. Wow. Okay, well, there you go. Man, that'll definitely make it a little bit less of a catastrophe, but there you go. Yeah, he's about to lose his artillery. Let me check my numbers. We'll be right back. All right, well, I think I stand corrected. There's a -10 on this die roll. So we'll just go ahead and roll the Russian die. In the first combat, the first melee, going to be a massacre because they got caught out in it. Running through the snow. Oh, yeah, because of column formation. Although they were in attack order, so they weren't double timing. It's just the way it was, and they were able to get, I guess the key would be the 2 couriers. They got hit with 2 couriers, and they were told to move and move. And they got there quick, to the chagrin or the surprise of the French. So we're rolling 2 die. We've got a -10, and anything under a 7. Well, we'll look at the results here. I don't know if it's retreat. I think they can. Well, they might be able to retreat. We'll see. They're limbered. Most of the times, if they get assaulted and they lose, they have to see if they pass a limbering die roll. If they don't, they can't get hooked up to the horses quick enough. They get hammered, but they're already hooked up, so they might get a chance to squeeze out of there. All right, -10 on the die roll. All right, well, that's a negative, whatever. So let's go over to the procedure here. We get a 7 or less. The assaulted charge units lose 1 strength point each and retreat if assaulted by infantry. All right, well, he gets to get out of there? Hold on. If a modified die roll of D6 is 12 or more, the attacker checks leader for casualties. Oh, I think it was. No, it was a negative. I gotta check this out. Put this camera down. We'll be right back. All right, well, I believe I've checked this twice. The result is, oh, you know what? We got a dirty lens. Hold on a second here. All right, well, that makes it, okay, there you go. I was gonna say that makes it even worse. All right, well, the result will be from a 2 strength point to another 1. So they both are reduced by 1 strength point. And all right, now here we might have a problem. Huh. this is stacking, which restrictions are stacking limits have been reached here. We can go here, but in doing so, we have to take a strength point loss, so that'll eliminate one of the units. Yeah, because these boys will fire on them. As you retreat, if you go by a unit, you got to lose a strength point. So I guess we'll do it like this. He will get hammered, and that will be his 1, 2 out of his 4. He has to retreat. So then we will do down to 1 unit because he'll lose 1 strength point, which will eliminate the other unit. And then we'll go. I believe we'll stop there and turn around and get ready to unlimber the fire. There you go. Lost a unit. 1 strength point. These boys here can advance and will. So, alright, well, they were able to get out. Not only 1 strength point, they lost 1, but there you go. They weren't eliminated. They were able to hightail it out of there. Unfortunately, they had to go fight another Russian unit, which fired on them, thereby eliminating that unit. And only 1 strength point survived out of 4. Interesting. And a good result. Yeah, definitely like that. All right, there you go. We're done. We're ready for the next cube draw. I guess we'll call this a quick video. Don't want to get too... I know I'm a short attention span viewer myself. So there you go. All right. We're done with maybe... We got 3 cubes, I'd say maybe about the first 9 minutes of the second hour of combat. Here's the results. Russians making a big move here. And the French coming in off the southern edge. Now we could have come in at any south edge on here. We chose this spot as our entry position. You can see how it's breaking down. We'll be back. All right, before we forget and make it a video, we have to remember that first unit eliminated in the battle. And for every unit eliminated, it is 1 army fatigue point that is put into the general supply. Unless you eliminate a guard unit, then that'll be 2. So therefore, the French losing 1 army fatigue point. There you go. That's how that's played. Put into the general army fatigue cup. All right, now we'll call it a video. There you go. There is the score after the first hour and maybe 9 minutes. Be back.